What's going on YouTube? I'm Scotch.
And I'm Sniff.
And we're Scotch and Sniff.
Fantastic. Today we're going to be talking about no age statement bottles.
No age statement? What does that mean?
Well, it means that the bottles didn't actually come with an age because the rules say that if you have booze inside of a bottle, you have to give the age of the youngest inside of it. So say you want to mix a 30-year-old, a 28-year-old, and a 2-year-old whiskey, which is impossible because they have to be at least 3, a 3-year-old whiskey, you'd have a 3-year-old bottle, and that's what they have to put on there because, well, obviously, the youngest.
And people love ages of whiskeys because, of course, that's how they know it's better, right? Because a 3-year-old whiskey is far worse than an 18-year-old whiskey, right?
That's not always the case, and we're going to see that here, actually, because I might know how old one of these is kind of close to.
Oh, okay.
So let's start with the Macallan Rare Cask. So this came out a couple of years ago, and people were just loving it because it comes in a gorgeous bottle, it comes with a glass topper, and it looks pretty sexy, not gonna lie, for a bottle of scotch. The price point is a little ridiculous. It came out at $300, but now it's down to, you can find it in places $250, $220, right around there, which is hilariously ironic because the 18 actually costs more now, which also tastes fantastic. But the Rare Cask, it's not bad. It's got a ton of sherry notes. We did a review on it on ScotchnSniff.com between that and the Aberlour Arbunad. So if you're a huge sherry fan, you might want to pop over there and just take a look at what we wrote about that. Otherwise, it's the Rare Cask. It's typical Macallan. It's sherry. It's good. I don't know if it's worth the price and the hype, but
yeah. The fact that something comes with this beautiful glass topper and it comes in this immaculate glass and people, who designed the glass and they have the name, that's nice and all, but when it comes down to it, you want a good whiskey to be a good whiskey. You're not going to come back and be a second buyer if you know you're paying for marketing.
Bingo. Next up, we've got the Brenne. Hello, Alison Patel. She's fantastic.
Lovely.
So Brenne is Brenne is obviously a French whiskey, and they take it and they finish it in limousine casks, which are awesome. It has a really, really unique flavor. The nose is very fruity and light and bubblegum.
Fruity Pebbles, Fruit Loops. If you want a fruit bomb, this is it. And it's very viscous. There's a nice amount of mouthfeel to it, and it's very sweet. It's definitely a whiskey that a lot of people will like. There's a large range of people that like that kind of sweeter whiskey.
Definitely. Even our camera guy right now here today, he's tried the Brenne and he's fallen in love with it. He's talked about it. I'm pretty sure he has it at home and actually makes mixed drinks with it, which is crazy, but it's just so everyone friendly.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got the Dalmore. This is the King Alexander III. Another one that came out, was way overpriced in the beginning and then fell through the floor with pricing. So I'm pretty sure I picked this bottle up for right around $250, and then not a week later it was $150 at the same local liquor store where the owner actually apologized to me, and of course he didn't refund me any money.
Of course not.
He just told me he felt bad, which is worthless. But anyways.
It's made up of how many different casks?
6 different types of sherry casks, actually.
So you're getting a lot of sherry flavor with that. You can see with the color, it's a vibrant, almost reddish hue. And Dalmore's known for that. They're known for their sherry,
and their
spice.
Super sweet chocolate taste. Oh my gosh, Dalmore's so famous for their sweet.
It's really delicious.
So that's all due to Richard Patterson, obviously the nose, as it were, and his amazing ability to just taste fantastic flavors. But as we've said before, the Dalmore, when you try it by itself, is extremely not one-noted per se, but it's extremely familiar across their line. But when you sit them all down and have a flight of Dalmore, it's pretty fantastic, and that's where this one really shines.
Exactly. These next two, both Sniff and I have not tasted vice versa. So I haven't tasted this Bruichladdich right here, the Classic Laddie, which comes in this wonderful Tiffany blue bottle. And then there's also the Nikka Coffee Grain from Suntory that is probably the most bourbon-y Japanese whiskey from Japan I've ever had.
That's got some really nice notes. Man, that's sweet. So the Bruichladdich actually is pretty fantastic because for a little while this was my go-to scotch.
I can taste the peat right off the bat.
It's not so much peat that's in there, it's the smoke. And they do a really good job. If you haven't really tried to distinguish between peat and smoke, it's good to sit down with something like an Ardbeg and something like an Oban and really try to see the differences between the two. But in the Bruichladdich specifically here, the smoke notes are just incredible, and they're so well balanced with all of the rest of the sweeter notes, the vanilla, and the fantastic just characteristics of the distillate that Bruichladdich is known for putting out.
Definitely, I get right off the bat, it's a very soft sweetness, but there's a good amount of smoke, just like what he was saying. Initially, I got peat from it, but he's definitely right. It's a soft smoke, and It's kind of building and building in my mouth as I'm going throughout the tasting. This is delicious.
Wow. Okay, incredible. The Nikka Coffee, I know that people have spoken about the Nikka Coffee and said that it tastes like bourbon, but the level and degree of vanilla that I'm getting right now is off the charts. That is pretty fantastic.
Whenever I taste the Nikka, it gives me the idea that it's probably like a large corn mash bill, because there's a lot of sweetness. Even you can kind of taste the Cornish grain, hence why people think it's kind of bourbony. But there's just this roundness, and whatever barrels that they're using to age this stuff, we don't have an age statement, hence the non-age statement. It's just picking up perfect characteristics of vanilla, round oak, and matches well with the bourbon.
But not too much oak. It's just about the right amount.
Yeah.
But go ahead and let us know, what are your favorite kinds of non-age statement barrels and bottles?
Yeah, and comment down below, and we'll see if they match up with ours.
Fantastic. This is good. This is really good.